All right, this is take two. Good morning, guys. It's September 19th. I go back to finish the last round of my radiation therapy prerequisites. My last year of prerequisites is starting on Monday down here at PSU in Portland. And, it's my last year of prerequisites, and like I spoke a little bit in the last video, I'm thinking about going into X-ray tech at PCC and possibly doing that for a couple of years just so I can get an ARRC accreditation and get experience working in didactics, and then go into radiation therapy after I have already had a year's worth of experience as an X-ray tech. And I should be done with all my prerequisites by next summer, or by the end of May of 2024, which is next year. So on that regard, I should be able to start the program at PCC. Theoretically, I need to talk to a couple more advisors and get the exact plan sort of planned out for how my scholastic trajectory is going to work on that regard. You know what I mean? So anyway, this morning I am wearing a shirt and I'm just sitting on my front porch drinking my coffee. It's a good morning. I gotta say, this time of year is one of my favorite times of year in the Pacific Northwest and anywhere in the Northern Hemisphere, really, when all the leaves start to fall and they turn like yellow and orange and red. So that's going to be coming up in a couple of months, but essentially it's going to be pretty great when that happens. I love kicking through leaves on a cold, crisp November morning, for instance. So that's coming up in about a couple of months. I'm looking forward to that. And anyway, with the coffee this morning, you guys, I'm drinking black coffee with a little bit of sugar. And that is how I like my coffee. And I make it at my house, so it doesn't cost me anything. I think that it's a little bit silly for all those people who just go to Starbucks every day. And I can see, sometimes I go to Starbucks, but it just seems silly that you would spend, $5 a day just so you can get yourself a grande pumpkin spice latte, or $5.95, however much PSLs are, and so basically I just think it's silly, because if you think about it, someone who would go to Starbucks 5 days a week before work and get a pumpkin spice latte would be spending, we'll say, $25 a week. If each pumpkin spice latte is $5, that's $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year, which could definitely go towards some other investment class, or could definitely go toward some other expenditure, So anyway, like I say, you can get instant coffee. This is what I do. Actually, it's a pretty cool story. You can get instant coffee from Safeway or Fred's or Trader Joe's or New Seasons, wherever you like to shop. Get instant coffee and then take it back to your house and put hot water in a cup and put instant coffee in a cup. Boom! There's your coffee. Don't even have to go to Starbucks. So that's what I like to do. Last night, I was up until like 1:30 in the morning. That's why I look a little bit tired right now, because I was up until 1:30 in the morning, because I was making soup in my slow cooker, but I didn't start the soup. I think it was a beef, some beef dish, like a tri-tip or something made out of beef. But I didn't start the slow cooker until 6, because I was running around yesterday doing stuff. And then I didn't start the slow cooker until 6. And then I didn't even get it done until like 1 in the morning because it was a 7-hour roast. They say that low and slow for the slow cooker is the best way you can get the taste and the best consistency to get the meat to be at that really nice tender flavor. Mwah. You know what I mean? So anyway, I didn't get to sleep until 1:30 last night because of my darn soup. But anyway, today I have a day off. I think I'm just going to drink some more coffee and sort of spend the next 90 minutes waking up. What I like to do on my days off is also, I like listening to podcasts. So lately I've been listening to one for the last couple of years called the Huberman Lab podcast. If you know that podcast, then that's really good. If not, I would recommend starting to listen to that podcast. It's a very intuitive, very awesome podcast. This guy, Andrew Huberman, he's the doctor from the podcast. He just talks about so much cool stuff. And they're like an hour and a half long, the podcasts, 2 hours long, whatever. So what I'll do is sometimes I'll just go sit on my couch and listen to the podcasts, and they're so good and they're so much fun to listen to too. So that's a nice way I like to wind down, especially if I'm at the hospital working a swing shift until 9. Then I get home at like 9:15 because I live right by the hospital. Then I'll turn on a podcast and I'll listen to an episode or two or half of one. And what's cool about the Huberman Lab podcast is that at the end of every episode, he says, and last but not least, thank you for your interest in science. And I think it's cool. You know, it's kind of nerdy, but it's kind of cool too. So anyway, if you guys know any other good podcasts, please let me know what they are down in the comments section, because I would love to know what other good podcasts are for me to listen to when I get done listening to all the Huberman Lab podcasts. Also, it would be extraordinarily helpful if you could subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below telling me that you like the things that I'm talking about, and or possibly giving me recommendations on what to talk about in future episodes on these little vlogs. So that would be very helpful. Furthermore, in a couple of weeks, I'm considering going up to Vancouver, British Columbia with one of my best friends. And what we're thinking about doing is taking the Flixbus up there and then taking the train back. We would do like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday type of situation. So I will be out of town. We're thinking like the 6th, 7th, 8th of October, either that weekend or the next weekend. But I'll keep you informed as it draws nearer. The next sort of big momentous occasion for me is when school starts back up next week. I will be taking public speaking, human development, and anatomy and physiology. So I've actually been studying a lot of A&P this last week especially. What I'll do is after the gym, because my university gym is open Thursday, Friday. It's open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. My gym is open Wednesday through Saturday. And obviously when the school year starts, the hours are going to change. But since we're still technically in summer break, the hours are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I only really go to the gym 4 days a week. But I still do 40 reps per day and a 5K per day. So it ends up being about 120 reps a week and a 20K all in right now. When the school year starts, I'm going to have to adapt and focus on my class schedule a little bit more, and then I will have different opportunities to work out and all of that. I think that I need to get a bathing suit so that I can start swimming again, because I like swimming a lot, but I don't know what happened to my last bathing suit that I had. I used to be a swim instructor at the Mount Scott Community Center, so I think it might have got stuck in the whirlpool over there. All right, so I'm going to keep these vlog episodes each to about 10 minutes, and we're about 10 minutes elapsed on this one. So I'm just gonna go ahead, finish my coffee here, okay, thank you, and then go inside and make another cup of coffee and drink it, and then probably repeat that process a couple of times, all right? But for all of you listening, thank you so much for tuning into this, I can't even talk right. For all of for all those of you who are listening to today's episode, thank you so much for listening today. Thank you so much for listening to the episode today, and I will see you in a couple of days at the next one. Thank you for subscribing and keeping up to date. Bye-bye.